Alright, so today I'm making a follow-up video to my pedal board rebuild, and there'll actually be some audio in this video. I'm using my iPad just for the audio though, so what you're hearing is my interface and then studio monitors that are going to be feeding this out. It's just the best way for me to try this out right now on how I'm doing things since I'm using the amps and cabs on the HX Stomp. So again, just to run through my signal chain before I get into the different sounds and everything. I've got my guitar running into the pedal board right up at this point here, and then it's going straight into my Plethora. And from there, I've got the compressor and octaver. This is just for one song too. This is for Mr. Self-Destruction, the very first track that we'll be doing. So compressor, octaver, then it's going up to the SY-200 right here. And then I have in the effects loop of that so that I can have, like a dry synth sound, but still have my unaffected guitar sound. I've got in the effects loop of this, going to the HX Stomp right here. And that's where I have my distortions, my amps, and everything. Then it's going to go from the send of the HX Stomp into the volume pedal right here. So that's going to cut my guitar, like the regular guitar sound. So when it's down, that's my guitar. Get a little bit more volume. So that toe down, got volume. Back here, I don't. If I have the repeats on with the echo right there. Or that gives me a lot of really cool options having it plugged in that way. So again, that's HX Stomp send to the volume pedal before it goes to the back into the synth, and then by going to the synth before we go back to the Plethora, any of the echo, tremolo, reverbs, and stuff is going to be applied to the guitar signal and the synth signal equally there. And then this expression pedal over here controls my synth volume, which I can adjust at any time just with my left foot. The two switches here on my power supply are going to act as my foot switches 4 and 5 and tap tempo control, along with the MIDI baby right here. And then these 4 units right here are all connected through MIDI. So let's jump into one of the sounds. Essentially for this song, I think I need like 3 different sounds at least. So what I'm using is actually the snapshots in HX Stomp, so that for each of the sounds that I switch between, I don't have to tap dance across multiple pedals. I can just hit one snapshot button and it goes away. And I can even toggle from snapshot back to regular by just holding down this button on the MIDI baby. I've programmed it to switch in between the stomp mode and then the snapshot mode. So again, the advantage of the snapshot mode is that some of the other things will change. Like when I go to the second knob here, the octaver is going to turn on the Plethora. When I go back, it turns off. When I go to the third one over here, it's going to turn on the tremolo, echo, and reverb on the Plethora. So that's all kind of the idea with running it as snapshots, and that I just have the 3 sounds. So the first one that I'll need is going to be like amp signal, just like a normal guitar sounding amp that I can kind of control, that's not got as much volume. So let's see. Yeah, I don't want the synth on that one. So guitar, no synth, it's going to be like a... And then you go silent, obviously. So I've got the noise gate going. Get a little bit more volume. There we go. So again, that's what I'll need for the verse. And then when I'm going to kick into the chorus, what's going to happen here, let me zoom in so you can see it. So once my signal path there, you can see right here that I've got a B path that is bypassing the drive that I have there. It's got its own drive. It's like a Metal Zone clone on there, and it is going around the speaker and the amp simulation right there, and just acting like it's going straight into the mixer or whatever I'm going to be plugged into there. So when I hit that second snapshot, that B path is going to come on, and I'm going to get the octaver. So it's going from this sound to And actually, I need to play it up here. And I forgot to pull in the synth, but that would bring it to from this to yeah. So let me back up so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going. And then I just kick right back over to that one and it goes away. So as I pointed out with that one, I've got the noise gates that are going and I've got that A-B path that's going on. And it's not a Y split, it's actually is an A-B path. So let me zoom in a little bit more on this so you can see it. I didn't realize this at first for a while, but when you, let me save what I've been doing. When you go to this selector right here on your splits, you have options for Y, A-B, crossover, and dynamic. So there is a difference between those. Split Y is going to just kind of like, I don't know how to, I guess you're sending your signal equally to both sides there, and then it's getting mixed in. A-B, you actually have an option to have like more A, more B, so that's actually what I'm going with. Crossover would be like you could send higher or lower frequencies onto the A or B path, and then dynamic is going to be more reacting to how hard you're playing, I believe. So A-B is what I want for this one. So A-B right there, and I wanted to do this in front of you here. So what I need to do to make this work, I'm on snapshot 1, go to the little hamburger menu there, and go to controller assign. And from there, I want to control the parameter route to is going to be the snapshot is what's going to control that right there. So route to controlled by snapshot where we're on. So save my progress. All right, so right now it's at even split for this first one, but I don't want that B path in there at all. So I'm 100% A. Okay, when I click to B, it's an even split right there. That's interesting. And then let's leave it as an even split for my C path as well. And the other thing too, that's going to cover like the clean sound which comes in after the second chorus there. Very ambient, no distortion at all, you know, almost barely sounds like a guitar even. So I'm going to have to make it not sound like a Fender or a Vox. I'm going to have to make it almost sound like a keyboard, which is part of what the synthesizer is going to do right here for me. Now when I switch this on, notice that this all changes down here. And I also want to do this. I had a pretty tight gate built into the input block of this for, let's see, the first and the second snapshots because they're heavily distorted. I want it to be a little bit more open on this one. So if I turn the gate off right here, then it's just going to turn off for all of those and you hear all the noise that I get. So gate back on. Back to the hamburger menu, controller assign, gate is controlled by snapshot right there. So let's save that progress. So now I want the gate off for this one and it stays on for these other two. And see how it's lit up brighter than the other menu things around it there? That's because it's being controlled by the snapshot. So let's see. Scroll back here, zoom out. So let's see. So see when I go to that one. So I have my tremolo and I have my vintage echo going at the same time. Let's see, that's going at 200 beats per minute, the vintage echo. I want to change that so that it is getting its MIDI reading from my other units here. So let me go to edit, settings, board, Let's see, tempo sync. Let's see. I have tempo sync for the tremolo that I just turned on and for the vintage echo, which I just turned on. Let's see. And then back here. So now there's this little metronome icon that has appeared up there instead of the BPM icon. And the BPMs on this whole deal, I actually control from this foot switch back here. Now when I tap on this foot switch, you'll see the little MIDI baby glow blue. That means that I'm sending my tap tempo message through MIDI there. So that's tapping at the speed. And you can even see, I think, yeah. So the echo right there is responding to the tap tempo that I'm sending to it from this foot switch right here. So it's sending its tap tempo to the MIDI baby, which is sending it to the HX Stomp, and then passing it along not only to the Plethora, but also, if you see in the top corner of the synth pedal right there, it is also being sent the MIDI message right there. So not that they're all active right now and using the same thing, but if I was to choose to do that, they would all be synced up very nicely. So let's see, that's a bit too quick. I want it to be like da, da, da. There we go. I don't know that I like the tremolo being on that. I might want that one to be on its own. So back to edit, way down to settings, board, tempo sync, and I'm going to turn it off for the tap tremolo. In theory, it seems like it should have worked, but I understand why it didn't at the same time. So let's go back to that. Yeah, I want it to be kind of fast and full volume. There we go. I think I like that a little bit better. All right, so. And obviously I've got the synth going on. I had it on one of the lead variations. I think it was 15, and I just switched it over to one of the Bell variations and then saved it in the SY-200. So the setting that I made here that actually says Mr. Self-Destruct, there it is, that actually says that. It's not like I'm settled on that sound, it's just this is the spot where I'm going to send the program there. So I'm still kind of dialing it in. I didn't want to do like a full playthrough or anything, or bother hooking this up to the interface so that you could have like a studio quality version of the sound. I kind of just wanted to show it off and some of the how I've got it going on. So again, the first snapshot, it's got all A path, no B path, and it's just going through the amp. I can cut the, have the synth in there, or cut it out by having that back. And then, let's see, the second snapshot I have is the one with the... And then my third one right there is going to be where it goes clean. And I have to... Now watch this. That's just guitar. Blend this in. Hear that bell? Like I was saying in the beginning of the video, it's like, it's not even supposed to sound that much like a guitar. You want it to sound like a key or something else. So what happens if I drop the volume out of the guitar? That's cool. It's just a bell sound now, no guitar. Let me mix the guitar back in. So again, I know that doesn't show everything, but I think that's a pretty good use of a lot of the features that I like to show off with the pedal board and what I plan to use it for with this particular song. I don't know if I'll do a breakdown with every song from the set that I'll be doing, but I know that the requirements for the sounds and stuff are going to be so different from each song. I'm going to wind up making its own preset for each of these units that's going to go along with each of the songs. So let's go ahead and wrap it for today. I'm glad that I was able to add some actual sound to this and set it up where I could not have to be holding my phone. Again, it's just the iPad microphone that you're hearing in case anyone was wondering there. But yeah, let's go ahead and call it for today. Thank you so much for watching and taking interest in my setup and everything. If you have any specific questions about how I've got things set up, please feel free to ask. I'm wearing black socks in case anyone was wondering. All right, I will talk to you guys here in another video soon. Thanks.